Hi guys, welcome back to Hogwarts Legacy for, well, the first of the final videos, which will be all about reading some of the, lore stuff, the letters, notes, and some of the collection section. As you can see, I'm wearing a demiguise mask, which was a reward for one of the challenges. I'm trying to remember which one. Oh, yeah. Here, complete 42 dueling feats. And the rest of my outfit is all the Quidditch captain gear, the cape, the helmet, the outfit, and the gloves. I think the gloves are Quidditch, but I'm not 100% sure. Anyway, before we get into reading, I thought I would quickly show you the vivariums. Just because I've never been here in the videos, I think. We have some young animals, like a baby hippogriff, a baby thestral, the parents. I never caught any hippogriffs in the wild. These are all, or both, ones you have to catch for quests. And the thestrals, I'm not sure. Maybe I caught them. One was definitely for a quest, but the other one, I'm not sure. And here we have a baby unicorn, which is pretty darn cute. This one I have to catch in the wild, and the mommy, I don't know where she is. Oh, Hazel the unicorn, that was also one for a quest. So this is the swampy vivarium. I can never find the way out of here. And this should be all of the birds. Yeah, they recall the phoenix, the one phoenix, a bunch of foopers, jobberknolls, and I think that's it. Baby Diricall. And I have these two. This is a shiny, if you want to call it that, like a special color that I caught in this niffler. I'm confused why there are no nifflers here. Anyway, that's this one. Moving on to the beach vivarium. Where I have, sadly I have two male graphorns. So I never actually got to see what a baby graphorn would look like. Maybe that's something I'll still do at some point. This is the quest-related one. Kneasel offspring. Toads. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, just grabhorns, toads, and Kneasels. I think I like this vivarium the best. Visually, I mean. And then lastly, the first vivarium you get. With nifflers. Wait, so I can put this one here. The moon calves. Moon calf offspring, which is ridiculously cute. I thought I had a niffler offspring as well. Yeah, here. Wait, if I summon him. This little dude. And yeah, the puffskeins. Which I don't think I have offspring. Oh, I do. Then where is he? Oh, is this him? Oh, here. I can barely see him. Yeah, anyway. As you can see here on the Hogwarts map, I'm missing 3 field guide pages. Luckily they're not ones you need for the Revelio pages, because I have all 150. So they must be either ones that are flying around or moth paintings. And I'd be surprised if they were moth paintings, because I assume I would have seen them. In the outside world, I have everything. Everything collected. And in Hogsmeade, I'm missing 1 field guide page, which also has to be either one that flies around or a Revelio, or a moth painting. If you have any tips on where these might be, please feel free to share so I can check them off. Because it bugs me a bit, even though I have let it go. Usually I tend to dwell on this stuff a bit longer than necessary, but anyway. Let's go to, first what I plan to read from the collections are enemies, all of this stuff. The Revelio pages, obviously, because I never really took the time to read them as I was finding them. And the beasts, which there are only 13 of, so I'll squeeze that one in with some other video. But first, let's get into the letters. Okay. Should be doable in one video, I think, but we'll see. So this first one is a diary entry by a member of the Ashwinders. It has been a fortnight since Rookwood banished me to this cursed manor to act as a lookout. I am inclined to think this is a punishment of some sort. Why else would he send me to watch over this tedious hamlet, difficult to read sometimes, with only the company of the dead? Since I've arrived, I've been unable to clear the eerie mist that pervades the rooms of this overgrown shack. The worst part of the place is the cellar, filled with corpses. They've been sealed in here for at least a year, preserved somehow. How they died I do not know, but the longer I spend in this place, the stranger I feel. My thoughts are becoming addled. More than once I've considered using dark magic to raise the bodies in the cellar, for company or for sport. Perhaps I shall retire now to think it over. Perhaps I won't be alone for much longer. Next is a horticultural history of the Blackwood Maze, Part 4. Which reminds me that I hope that I found all the mazes. I found 4. I'm sure I would have seen the icons pop up on the minimap, but yeah, there's no real checklist for these. I guess I'll better start with the part 1 first. Few witches or wizards correctly trace the history of Scotland's indigenous mazes back to their rightful source, the 15th century dark wizard known as Eunan Blackwood. Born Eunan Wood to a non-magical branch of the Wood family, Eunan was misunderstood by his Muggle parents and, in an effort to fit in, sought solace in the family trade, hedge trimming. He could allegedly control the blackthorn bushes with his mind, creating beautiful designs with ease. This both impressed and infuriated his rather intolerant family. Their resentment only worsened upon young Eunan's invitation to Hogwarts, where he was sorted into Hufflepuff House. It was at Hogwarts that Eunan first met one Artemisia Black. Disowned by the Black family for her mother's dalliance with Artemisia's Muggle father, the half-blood Artemisia's relationship with blood purity was a complex one. She considered herself worthy of her mother's maiden name and blamed her father for her ostracization. A lot of difficult words. At the same time, she did not fault Wood for his Muggle parentage, but rather considered him too an unwilling, innocent victim of Muggle impurity. Horticultural History of the Blackwood Maze, Part 2. The teenage Artemisia played a pivotal role in Eunan's growth as a wizard, but also his descent into darkness, each stoking the other's disdain for their Muggle parents. And as Eunan changed, so did the results of his work. The hedges he nurtured grew vicious and volatile. The wedding of Eunan and Artemisia was a curious affair, for Artemisia's Muggle father and Eunan's Muggle family were all invited. It is believed that Eunan's family would have avoided the affair altogether if not for rumors of Artemisia's considerable dowry, which, unbeknownst to them, was not a pile of gold, but a single golden medallion, bewitched with the Gemino curse. Enticed by their greed, the Muggles agreed to attend. Part 3. To celebrate his union with Artemisia, Yunan erected his greatest work, claimed to have been inspired by the Greek wizard Daedalus, the most magnificent maze he had ever created. All of the wedding guests were invited to venture into the maze in search of riches ostensibly hidden therein. But the witches and wizards recognized something in Yunan, so the story goes, and stayed back. Those who entered did not return. The terror did not end there. As many as 1,000 Scottish Muggles met their end in the Blackwood Maze over the years that followed, enticed into its depths by the promise of gold. In Part 4. Tragedy eventually befell Yunan and Artemisia Blackwood at the hands of none other than their daughter, Lysandra. Born a squib, Lysandra was a disappointment to her parents from the moment her lack of magical ability became apparent. Lysandra's frustration with her parents reached its peak in her 16th year, and after a particularly nasty fight, Lysandra reported her mother to Muggle witch hunters. They came for Artemisia early one spring morning, and at nightfall burned her at the stake. It is not known what became of Yunan after Artemisia's demise, only that neither he nor his daughter was ever seen again. Yunan Blackwood's maze mysteriously disappeared from its home in Stonehaven not long afterwards, only to reappear in different places for a short time, ensnaring Muggles and magical folk alike. So it remains to this day. Many have attempted to tame the Blackwood Maze, as it is now known, but herbologists suspect it still answers to the dark will of its former master, and it has thus far evaded control. Okay, it's kind of dark stuff. Next is a letter from Bernard D.A. to Eddie Thistlewood. Eddie. The Goblin Rebellion's attacks on Feldcroft are becoming more frequent. They seem to be searching for something. At least I fail to find another reason why they would target our little hamlet. Regardless, trade is suffering and the people are struggling. Feldcroft could certainly benefit from your creativity and optimism right now. You always seem to have the cleverest ideas. Any suggestions, my friend? I'm not sure how much longer Feldcroft can survive. Yours, Bernard D.A. I feel like I'm not saying the name correctly. A letter from Harriet to Lone. Dear Lone, I hope you are well, dear brother. It was good to receive your last letter and hear news of your family, especially your clever wife. Liana's latest experiments in potion making sound fascinating, to say the least. I have never heard of using liquid mercury in a perpetual cloud potion before. I will say, however, that the billows of vapor you described wafting through the house seem worrisome. Is Liana sure that her work is safe? Oh, listen to me going on. I was never the one good at potions, was I? I miss you all dearly and look forward to our summer holiday by the sea. With love, Harriet. A letter from Sebastian Sallow to his sister Anne. Dear Anne, Hogwarts isn't the same without you. Well, Sharp is still as foul, but you know what I mean. I hope you're feeling better, Sebastian. A poacher letter. Where are you, Smithy? Thought you were joining us in Borneo. I know you have your hopes about the fighting ring, but the true galleons are in Acromantulas. You wouldn't believe how much Violet and I made a few days ago. Not to mention, Borneo is not half bad to look at. Anyway, we'll be leaving soon. Egypt, perhaps. It's such a relief not to be weighed down anymore. See you soon, Angus. A young woman's diary entry. February 1890. We have made our decision. We will be eloping this coming Monday. I've been in contact with a kindly old witch in Oslo who has agreed to give Tarek an apprenticeship. She'll be grateful for my knowledge of Wand Woods as well. We will be able to start anew. I shall miss my family, but my leaving is their fault, not mine. They refused to accept Tarek for his background, and therefore they refused me. I shall leave a note. They can know that I've left and that I am happy elsewhere with the love of my life. The stirrings of goblin loyalists, not to mention poachers and ashwinders, have made this place unsafe. I hope my family leaves eventually as well. Either way, we, Tarek and I, will finally be far away. I have not told Tarek yet, but I am with child. I will wait until we are safe, then tell him the happy news. I cannot dare believe it. I will soon have a daughter or son of my own. A baby to raise with Tarek, safe in our new home. Perhaps one day, when they are of age, they will attend Hogwarts and bring our little family full circle. I am hopeful. The next journey entry I write will likely be from Norway. Goodbye, Marinween. You will always be in my heart. An odd letter from Lowen to Harriet. My delirious Harriet. Lovely to receive your letter. Lovely letter, just lovely. The house is a bit of a mess at the moment. Why are the walls moving? The children see it too. Liana and I have decided that we must all stay in the cellar for now, because of the clouds in the foyer. She says she would write to you, but can't seem to hold a quill. Did I mention that your letter was lovely? If I can find Archimedes, I will send him on his way with this letter. Been ages since I've seen the old owl, but we cannot seem to rid ourselves of the large, snowy bats squawking about the place. Odd. Where are my shoes? Lowen. Next is an apothecary receipt. Apothecary receipt, cure for boils, 1 file. If I remember correctly, this note was in Professor Black's room, office, I don't know. Award for Excellence. Hogwarts Herbology Award. In recognition of exemplary skill in the field of herbology, Hogwarts bestows this special award upon 7th year Hufflepuff Mirabelle Garlick. From mandrakes to mistletoe and buba tubers to bouncing bulbs, her work with flora has exceeded all expectations. Bardolph Beaumont Diary Entry 2 of 2. So I'll see if I can find entry 1. Looks like I may have missed entry 1. Yeah, I guess I missed the first entry. Journal entry 2 of 2. I am repulsed by what I have just witnessed. They have created an inferius, a corpse mutilated come to life. I tried to hide my horror at what I was seeing. Alas, I think they saw through me. I need to convince them I am not a spy. I am not here to undermine them. If I do not, I fear I could be next. Bardolph. Basket note. Tobbs. You missed your quota by 3 files. You know what that means. It means my loyal customers will be missing their bottles of Seamus shrinking solution. Because of your foolish mistake, you will be given no food for a week. I also expect you to punish yourself accordingly. When I return for the next shipment, I can best see bloodied bandages instead of your usual idiotic grin. If you do not meet your next quota, plus 5 extra files, you will lose more than your food privileges. Bathtub note. Bit offended, the room thought I needed a bath. Cheeky thing. It's funny. Diary entry. My beloved, the moon is not yet full, yet such is my family's fear that they have sent me away prematurely. I am frightened. As a wolf I am powerful, but before the moon is round I am merely human. Merlin knows what beasts I may encounter in my present form. It is no good to dwell upon it. I hope I last this night, and I will be in your arms before long. William. Next is Divination Experience Note. 15th of February 1851. This morning's crystal gazing was most discouraging. I was initially thrilled to see the Ministry of Magic in my future. The atrium appeared to me clear as day. I have always dreamed of working there. However, as the atrium dissolved into a sea of brooms, endless rows of them, my elation turned to despair. Am I destined for a future in broom regulatory control? The tedium would rival the song of a whooper for my sanity. For now, I must accept that I am simply not naturally inclined towards divination. Although perhaps I have some subtle skill in that I can sense that. Likely so. Faculty gathering notice. Attention. I've been advised that various members of staff would like to organize a social gathering. I have no objection to this and shall leave it to those so inclined to fraternize ensuring that such activities fall outside of school hours, of course, and that nothing so jovial as to disrupt my concentration should occur. Likely I shall be busy on the date, but will review the invitation when received. I recognize that my absence will mar the engagement. Also, 1/2 of an hour should be sufficient, and please be mindful that any sort of musical presence would be strictly prohibited. Phineas Nigellus Black, Headmaster. P.S. No confectionery shall be served, lest they attract a stray rat or weasel. Also, please try to limit the number involved in this frivolity to 4. Fireplace note. A. I waited for you here for ages. Perhaps you were assigned a few more inches of parchment than you'd expected. Let me know if you want to try to meet again. Sincerely, T. Gatehouse note. I can't believe I have to write this down, but you moon mines don't listen. Push the gate open, don't blast it. If I find it blown to pieces again, I swear it'll be the end of your lot. Gladwin Moon Diary Entry. Dear Diary, each day it becomes more difficult to put on a brave face as I care for my beloved Hogwarts. Daily it seems I stumble upon yet another demiguise statue. Who is behind this? Whom have I wronged to such extent that they must now torture me with these foul things? I despair. Ever since I encountered that horrible creature in Hogsmeade, I have been unable to sleep. I fear I am not only distracted from my duties by these blasted statues, but I may also be looking rather worse for wear without my requisite 8 to 9 hours of slumber. I must remain steadfast. If I falter, to whom will the students look for guidance in these magical halls? Hogwarts would certainly fall into a state of utter chaos if I were to abandon my post for even one day. I must remain strong for the students, for Hogwarts. The prestigious writings of Gladwin Moon. Goblin Loyalist Correspondence. Ranrock suspects there is more of it in Feldcroft. Do not return until you've found it. More Goblin Loyalist correspondence. Ranrock demands an update. Have you found it? Report back immediately. Goblin Loyalist letter. We must be thorough in our search of these hamlets. Ranrock already has troops searching other areas and landmarks. Thus relocating you would only slow our efforts. Remain at your station. Continue the search. Be vigilant. You will be notified if anything changes. Goblin Note. Search the tower and the surrounding area. Look for anything to do with the names. What you find here could be the key to goblin kind finally taking its rightful place in the world. Ranrock. Gringotts Letter of Assignment. Gringotts Bank to Thana and Fotine. Our clients have indicated that one of their ancestors may have been entombed with part of the family fortune. They're concerned that the tomb may be cursed. Please go to the location on the map, break whatever curses you may find, and retrieve any valuables on behalf of the family. You may write to me personally should you need anything. Good luck. Grilko Wuthering, Head Curse Breaker, Gringotts Bank. Healer's Notes. 4th of June. The patient's symptoms include pockmarked skin of a greenish hue, sparks sneezed from the nostrils, and a green and purple rash between the toes. Textbook case of dragonpox, possibly lethal. I have prescribed a second dose of the Gorsmore cure, but it may not be sufficient. As such, I have further prescribed an elixir to induce euphoria, to ease the patient's probable passing. Must sanitize my equipment, highly contagious. Okay, now all the journal entries of Isadora Morgana. This might be a story spoiler, but hopefully not. First entry. It is my second week in the camp. More arrive each day. The Muggle doctors and even some of our own healers are doing all they can for them. The grief is palpable. The ones who have survived the plague are forever damaged by their loss. A fever may pass, the skin may mend and scar, but the devastating sorrow remains. I saw a man, much like my father, who had lost a child. I couldn't bear it. I longed to give him some shred of relief. I'm beginning to think that the others are wrong. I have the power to help these souls. It seems as arbitrary not to help them as it would be to rid them of their torment. Entry number 2. I traveled here to learn, but I long to help. My internal struggle is overwhelming. It's as though the magic wants to heal, and I am the one preventing it from doing so. Should I lose hope? Will I forever regret not having done more? I cannot look into their eyes, knowing that I could lessen the burden of heartache. I saw the man leaving camp today, the one who so reminded me of my father. Surely it wouldn't hurt to help him. I could further my research, of course, but that would be a fortuitous consequence of doing something good with this ability. Entry number 3. The world floated back to me as if in a watery haze. How long had I been unconscious? I only remember his eyes, empty. Empty of sorrow, yes, but also I recall feeling a sense of euphoria as I watched the pain vanish. But then everything started to turn. When I fell, I must have hit my head. I neither feel nor see a mark, but the pain is throbbing. I can only hope it is not the Black Death. At least he is no longer in pain. Entry number 4. I have had a breakthrough. The power that I honed with my professors, with which I conjured and built such pretty pillars, must be tempered substantially for the much more delicate endeavor which I now undertake. It feels somewhat like removing a memory, but the magic is wholly different. As I withdrew the merest whisper of pain from just above the heart, a faint haze appeared and then just as quickly seemed to dissipate. I sensed a surge of peace myself, as though I knew instantly that what I was doing was right. I wonder now if the haze may be contained. If memories can be stored in a pensieve, surely these extractions can be kept safe for further study. Entry number 5. Such joy I felt helping my father after all these years. To hear his voice again, I cannot begin to describe how much I've missed it. I confess I was wholly stunned by the keeper's reaction. I should have expected it. How can they stand by and do nothing when they have the power to do so much good? Who is Professor Rackham to tell me what I can and cannot do with my ability? The audacity of all of them, judging my work without any real understanding of all that I have accomplished. I do have some hope. The headmistress seemed somehow to understand what I was doing. When the time is right, I shall go to her. She may be able and willing to help. Until I know otherwise, I must continue my work alone. For now. But I will find someone to help me. I will find someone else who understands the gift that we've been given and our obligation to use it. I will store what I learned safely away for the moment. One day I will be able to share it with another who is like me. Entry number 6. I feel more and more capable each day. My sense of purpose, knowing that what I am doing is precisely what I was meant to do, has never been clearer. The number of souls I have been able to help grows by the day. So much pain. And I have discovered that this magic itself somehow confirms that what I am doing is right. Each time I breathe in the haze, even a little, it's as though I become more capable. I am being rewarded for my courage, rewarded for using this magic the way that it was meant to be used. I fear, however, that I must find a way to store what I cannot use in the moment. I do not yet understand its power and do not want to leave it to chance. I have an idea. It is not without risk, but I feel that the risk is worth it. And the 7th and last entry. How could I have been so terribly wrong? The headmistress won't help me. I tried to make her understand. She, like the others, is blind to the possibilities of what I can do. I have come to learn that I can rely on no one. But I am a more powerful witch than I have ever been, and I know that it's due to the work I'm doing. I shall not allow my magic to lie dormant, as the keepers do. How I despise that ridiculous name, as if keeping power all to themselves is something to be lauded. I confess I have begun to wonder if I will ever find another in my lifetime with whom I can share this work. If I do not, then I shall find solace in the knowledge that I have left them a trail to follow, path from which they can learn. Perhaps they will do what I cannot, heal the world. Letter. A letter from the Ministry of Magic. Dear resident, your chicken coop inspection will occur in 2 weeks' time in accordance with the Ministry's investigation into rumors of the illegal breeding of basilisks. Please ensure that your premises are toad-free and be reminded that the punishment for such illegal breeding endeavors is lifelong detention in Azkaban. Please contact the Department of Regulation and Control of Magical Beasts, Ministry of Magic, with any questions. Letter from a friend. Mudiva, or Mudiva, I don't know, Mudiwa. I received your letter this morning, and I'm thrilled to hear that all is going well for you and Nutsai at Hogwarts, even if Nutsai has been a little challenging of late. I suppose it is only to be expected since both of our daughters are, how should I put it, strong-willed. We miss you at Wagadu. It is not the same without you, but we understand why you felt the need to move on. I do not think that I could have remained here myself under the circumstances. How life does send us all down such unpredictable paths. One never truly knows what awaits, not even those such as yourself who have the sight. But I am confident that good things are ahead for you and Nutsai, at Hogwarts or wherever you may go. I do hope to hear from you again, and I wish you the best of luck in the meantime. Your loyal friend, Amali. Letter from a publisher. Dear Professor Shaw, thank you for your recent submission regarding celestial anomalies. It may be a perfect addition to an atlas I'm hoping to publish. I shall be in touch if I decide to include your submission or any of its related research in the publication. Best wishes, M.P.N. Carneris. Letter from Eddie Thistlewood. Dear sister, it's been some time since we've heard from you. How are things in the ministry? We continue to think of you and hope that you're doing well. You'll be happy to know that we've all made our peace with your decision to become an Auror, as dangerous as it is. You must live your life and follow your path. You are doing so in the service of the wizarding world. I am proud to call you sister. I must inform you of something that you may find curious. It seems a troll has taken up residence in the train tunnel near town. The poor thing's most certain to learn a tragic lesson about the fundamental velocity of locomotives. Right soon, Eddie Thistlewood. Next is a letter from Eleanor Everly. Dear Professor Garlick, how very thoughtful of you, and to remember that strawberries are my favorite. They're as sweet as can be. It's no wonder muggles love them so much. Everything you cultivate seems to be of such high quality, from bitter root to berries. I do hope that my darling niece can learn this skill whilst under your tutelage. Lenora so adores you, as do all of your students, I'm sure. Warmest regards always, Eleanor Everly. Actually, I think I'm going to split this video in 2 parts because it's almost 2 hours long, which is a bit much, even for me. So we will end this part here. I apologize if it's a bit clumsily edited, but I recorded them all in one go and then only decided afterwards that I would split it into 2 videos. So yeah, that'll be it for this first part. As always, thank you very much for watching and for listening, and I will talk to you next time. Bye bye.